Hello everyone, welcome back to online lecture series on heat transfer. We are continuing our topic of heat transfer through extended surfaces. So let's begin. First of all, we will do a quick revision of our previous topics and then we will begin with our new topic. Our objective in this chapter is to improve the heat dissipation from surface to surrounding, and the convection phenomena is governed by Newton-Raphman law, that is Q is equal to HA delta T. So in this chapter our objective will be to increase the surface area. These are various types of winds, and applications of finned surfaces are like this. Then we started with steady flow of heat along a rod, which is the governing differential equation or fundamental theory of this chapter, in which we started with a rectangular fin and a spine, and these are the cross-sectional area and perimeter. These are the assumptions which are necessary for our analysis, and then we analyzed it with energy balance, and thus we obtained the governing differential equation. And the solution for this governing differential equation is theta is equal to C1 e raised to mx plus C2 e raised to minus mx. We are going to utilize this equation in today's lecture. The first case for this was heat dissipation from an infinitely long fin, which is L tends to infinitive. So these were the boundary conditions, and then we obtained the values of C1 and C2, and this was the temperature profile for that. Then the next theory was Q fin, that is the heat transfer through the fin, and this was the value of heat transfer. Now we are beginning our new topic, which is heat dissipation from a fin which is insulated at the tip. So here in this case there is no specific figure for this, but let us say that here we are having, this is our heated wall, and here we are having this as a fin. So this fin will be of a finite length. The only difference which is coming here is it is being insulated at one end. So let us say this end is being insulated. Okay, and the relevant boundary conditions for this case, here first is theta is equal to theta 0 at x equal to 0. So where is x equal to 0 in this case? This location is x equal to 0. Okay, so here it is assumed that the temperature difference is nothing but T0 minus TA. That is, it is the temperature at x equal to 0 is equal to the base temperature. And second boundary condition is dt by dx is equal to 0 at x equal to L. So this is the condition where x is equal to L, and as it is insulated at x equal to L, the temperature here, the value of temperature remains constant. Okay, that's why when the temperature is constant, we can write down dt by dx as 0. Applying these boundary conditions, we can say first condition is this: C1 plus C2 is equal to theta 0. Let me remind you that the governing solution was C1 e raised to mx plus C2 e raised to minus mx equal to theta. That was the case. This is the fundamental solution in case of fin. So when we put x equal to 0, then this term will go, because it will be e raised to 0. So C1 plus C2 into e raised to minus 0, that will also be C2, and instead of theta we can put theta 0. Okay, further here this is the same equation that is being written here, because the value of theta is nothing but t minus t a. Okay, so the same thing is written over here, and our objective is to obtain this portion, that is the differentiation of temperature with respect to x. So here once we differentiate this equation, so on the left hand side it will be dt by dx, which is equal to the differentiation of first term. Here C1 is constant, so it is as it is, and differentiation of e raised to mx is m into e raised to mx, and here the differentiation of second term, that is over here, and for that it will be minus m e raised to minus mx. C2 will remain constant as it is. So as this derivative is 0 at x equal to L, so we can put L instead of x. So in this equation, as you can see, there are x present. Instead of that, x is being replaced with L. Okay, so finally we can say that C1 e raised to ml minus C2 e raised to minus ml is equal to 0. So based on that, combining previous two equations, we can obtain this formula, that is the values of C1 and C2. So what we are going to do is we are going to actually obtain these two constants right now on our virtual board. However, what I would suggest you is to keep pause this video over here and write down these things in your notebook right now. So I hope that you have paused this video and noted down everything on this slide. So let's move on to our board. Let me first copy this. So I would suggest you to be very careful for this part of our lecture because it will be purely based on mathematics. So our first equation was C1 plus C2 equal to theta 0. Okay, so that was the outcome of our first boundary condition. So this was based on this we were getting the value of C2 is equal to theta 0 minus C1. Okay, that was our first boundary condition, and the next thing was the second boundary condition which was present in our previous slide was C1 e raised to ml okay, so now minus C2 e raised to minus ml equal to 0. Okay, now we are beginning our analysis. Instead of C2 we will be putting this value. Okay, so C1 e raised to ml minus theta 0 minus C1 e raised to minus ml equal to 0. So what I have done, that I have put the value of C2 in this equation. So once we continue from here, we will be getting C1 e raised to ml minus theta 0 e raised to minus ml plus C1 e raised to minus ml equal to 0. So what is going to happen here, that we can take C1 common and we can get e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml, it should be plus common, okay, is equal to theta 0 e raised to minus ml. So here the value of C1 that will be obtained is equal to e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml and theta 0 as it is over here. So we have obtained the value of C1. Okay, so now we will be obtaining the value of C2 here. That is, the value of C2 is given by theta 0 minus C1, which is equal to theta 0 as it is minus e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml into theta 0 is equal to theta 0 into the bracket 1 minus e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml bracket over. So here we are getting is equal to theta 0 e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml minus e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml. So here these two will get eliminated and we will be left with I am writing in this form here, that is e raised to ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml into theta 0, that is the value of C2. So we have obtained both the values C1 and C2 on this board. So let's get back to our slide, and here I have directly written that part as you can see here. So here we will add one more slide and we will copy this portion. Okay, so this will be helpful to you in deriving this portion C1 and C2. So as now we have obtained the values of C1 and C2, and after that if you see here we have obtained these values of C1 and C2, and finally putting these values of a constant in temperature profile equation, we will be obtaining this temperature profile. So this equation will also be derived again. We will go back into our board and we will continue. So what we will do, let's begin with the fundamental equation, that is C1 e raised to mx plus C2 e raised to minus mx is equal to theta. That is our fundamental equation, and what we are going to do is we will be putting the values of C1 and C2. So e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml theta 0, which is as it is, I am writing from this, into e raised to mx plus e raised to ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml, e raised to, sorry, okay, here we can put minus sign, minus m x equals to 0, not 0, it is theta, and here we will be having theta 0 as it is present over here. So now here it will be like e raised to minus m L minus x plus e raised to m L minus x divided by e raised to m L plus e raised to minus m L is equal to theta upon theta 0. Okay, so we have obtained our first equation. What I am doing as of now, that I am replacing this two, so I am putting minus over here and rubbing the first minus. It is very quite straightforward, it's not a big deal. Okay, very simple thing. Now so this can also be written as t minus ta divided by t0 minus ta is equal to e raised to m L minus x plus e raised to minus m L minus x divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml. So this is nothing but here it will be cos hyperbolic m L minus x divided by cos hyperbolic ml. So I would suggest you to do this portion by yourself. This is nothing but a hyperbolic equation for cos. So this is the temperature profile that we have obtained, and again we can copy this part. Okay, so we have obtained the same thing over here. Now the next part is the rate of heat flow from the fin, which is given by Q fin The rate of heat flow from the fin is given by Q fin is equal to minus KAC dt by dx at x equal to 0. So let's start this part. First of all, from the temperature distribution, this is the formula which is being achieved. Okay. So to obtain the heat flow rate, first we need to differentiate this equation with respect to x. So if you see, this term is constant and this bottom term is constant, so these two will not be differentiated, they are as it is, and the differentiation of cos hyperbolic m L minus x is sin hyperbolic m L minus x into minus m. Minus m comes because of based on this bracket. So here, instead of at x equal to 0, this term will vanish. So because of that, sin hyperbolic ml divided by cos hyperbolic ml is nothing but tan hyperbolic ml, and the remaining terms are as it is, and at x equal to 0 it will be like this. Okay, so this is the value of dt by dx that we have obtained, and if you recall, the value of q was minus k ac dt by dx at x equal to 0. So we are going to put it over here, that is in this way. Okay, so based on that, this is the final formula that we are getting. So what we will do here, that let us continue from here, that it is equal to k ac, instead of m we can put square root of hp over k ac into t0 minus ta into tan h m l. So here instead of that we will be getting square root of hp over, sorry, so based on the mathematics, what we will be getting is square root of hp k ac t0 minus ta tan h m l. So the same thing is obtained over here. So that is the end of that theory, and now we are beginning our next theory, which is heat dissipation from a fin losing heat at the tip. So let me tell you first that this is going to be our longest theory of this chapter, so you should keep your focus over here only. So now we are discussing the real case in which the fin is losing its heat at the tip. So now the fin is of finite length with its tip exposed to heat dissipation. The relevant boundary conditions are, first is as it is, that is theta is equal to theta 0 at x equal to 0, and here in the second boundary condition the fin is losing its heat at the tip. So the heat conducted to the fin at x equal to L equals to heat convected from end to the surrounding. So the conduction heat transfer will be equal to convective heat transfer. So it is like minus KAC dt by dx at x equal to L is equal to HAS T minus TA. You need to be careful here that while considering the conduction we need to take cross sectional area, and while in convection we are taking the surface area. So at the tip of the fin, the cross sectional area of heat conduction AC is equal to surface area from which the convective heat transport occurs. So let us think of in this way. Suppose we are having in this way, this is the rectangular fin, and at the end of the end part the surface area will be equal to the cross sectional area though. So these two will ultimately get eliminated at the end of the tip of the fin. So as you can see, instead of dt by dx, here this term is being replaced with theta, that is temperature gradient. Okay, so h theta is as it is and k is taken in denominator and negative sign is there, which is at x equal to L. And applying these boundary conditions, first condition is as it is, that is C1 plus C2 is equal to theta 0, and further this is our standard formula, that is t minus t is equal to c1 e raised to mx plus c2 e raised to minus mx. So now the value of differentiation, that is dt by dx at x equal to L, is given by mc1 e raised to ml minus mc2 e raised to minus ml is equal to minus h theta by k. This is as per our previous slide. Okay. So c1 e raised to ml minus c2 e raised to minus ml is equal to minus h theta upon km. Why m is coming now? Because it is taken from here. And instead of theta, this is our formula, that is c1 e raised to ml plus c2 e raised to minus ml. So finally the values of constants which are obtained are this. So we are going to discuss these two values right now on our virtual board. Okay, so let's begin from here. Based on the second boundary condition, we are going to write c1 e raised to ml minus c2 e raised to minus ml is equal to minus h by km into c1 e raised to ml plus c2 e raised to minus ml. Okay, and the same equation is available over here also. This equation is written over there. Okay, and our first boundary condition was c1 plus c2 is equal to theta 0. So what we are doing right now is c2 is equal to theta 0 minus c1. So here c1 e raised to ml minus theta 0 minus c1 e raised to minus ml is equal to minus h by km c1 e raised to ml plus theta 0 minus c1 e raised to minus ml. Okay, so here we will continue from here, and you should be very careful from now on. c1 e raised to ml minus theta 0 e raised to minus ml plus c1 e raised to minus ml is equal to minus h by km c1 e raised to ml minus h by km again theta 0 e raised to minus ml and then plus again h by km c1 e raised to minus ml. Okay, so what we are going to do now is we are going to take c1 terms on together on left hand side and theta terms on the together on the right hand side. So c1 e raised to ml plus c1 e raised to minus ml plus h by km c1 e raised to ml minus h by km c1 e raised to minus ml I think we are going correct. So is equal to theta 0 e raised to ml minus h by km e raised to minus ml. I have made a mistake, this was minus ml. So now we will take c1 as a common, e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml bracket over is equal to theta 0 e raised to minus, okay, so let me erase this, c raised to minus ml into 1 minus h by km. Okay, so c1 is equal to now theta 0 into 1 minus h by km into e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml. Okay, so this is the value of c1 that we have obtained right now, and based on this we will be obtaining the value of c2. So now let's write down the value of, let's obtain the value of c2. So now c2 is equal to theta 0 minus c1 is equal to theta 0 minus theta 0 1 minus h by km e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml plus minus e raised to minus ml. So here let's simplify this, is equal to theta 0 e raised to ml plus theta 0 e raised to minus ml plus h by km theta 0 e raised to ml minus h by km theta 0 e raised to minus ml minus theta 0 e raised to minus ml minus actually it will be plus now, h by km theta 0 e raised to minus ml divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml. Okay, so there are few terms which are going to get eliminated, that is this with this and this with this. Okay, so here further writing down this, then theta 0 e raised to ml plus h by km theta 0 e raised to ml by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml. Okay, so further simplifying this, we will be getting the value of C2. Yes, the value of C2 is theta 0 common e raised to ml common into 1 plus h by km divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km into e raised to ml minus e raised to minus ml. Okay, so this will be the value of C2. So this is the way we can obtain the value of C1 and C2. So for your convenience, let me first take this portion, which is the derivation of C1, that will be taken into our slideshow. Okay, I will be putting after this. That is the derivation of C1 and after that the next derivation is of C2. So here in this slide the temperature profile is also derived. So we are also going to derive this temperature profile in our board. So let us derive now the temperature profile. Let me erase this portion. Okay, and the profile will be obtained with our standard formula is theta is equal to C1 e raised to mx plus C2 e raised to minus mx. Okay, so here instead of C1 we need to put that big value of C1, that is theta 0 1 minus h by km into e raised to minus ml into e raised to mx divided by e raised to ml plus e raised to minus ml plus h by km e raised to ml plus, sorry, here it will be minus, e raised to minus ml plus the value of C2, which is theta 0 into 1 plus h by km into e raised to ml into e raised to minus mx divided by the same denominator will be present over here. So let me see if I can copy this. Okay, so the same denominator will be present over here. So now you can move forward with, here it is theta 0 e raised to minus m L minus x minus h by km theta 0 into e raised to minus m L minus x plus theta 0 e raised to m L minus x plus h by km e raised to m L minus x divided by, the denominator is same, so we can put it over here. So here this was the value of theta. So finally what we are going to get over here is, let me put some partition over here. So here it will be like theta upon theta 0 is equal to e raised to m into L minus x plus e raised to minus m L minus x plus h by km into e raised to m L minus x minus e raised to minus m L minus x divided by the same term will be present over here. Okay. And after that the first term will be theta upon theta 0 is equal to cos h m L minus x plus h by km sin h m L minus x divided by cos h m L plus h by km sin h m L. So this is our temperature profile when the fin is losing heat at the tip. So we can copy this portion. And let me erase this unnecessary part. So we can copy this in our slide. Okay. So this is the temperature profile that we have obtained, and the heat flow rate can be given by this formula. And once you differentiate this, see, at x equal to 0, this will not be there and this will not be there at that time. The denominator is constant and the differentiation of cos h ml will be sin h ml and m will come out, that is over here, and the differentiation of sin h ml will be cos h ml and the m is taken outside. Okay, so I would suggest you to do this differentiation by yourself because majority of the things are already done. And the final equation will be this, because when you put m is equal to square root of hp over kac, you will be obtaining that thing, this formula. Okay, so this is the value of Q fin. Okay, now our next theory is efficiency of fin. It relates the performance of actual fin to that of ideal or fully effective fin. A fin is most effective. So now we are discussing about the ratio of actual fin with ideal fin. So fin will be most effective, that is ideal, when it would dissipate heat at maximum rate if the entire fin surface is maintained at base temperature. So whenever the entire fin area is maintained at base temperature, then it will be most effective. So what is the meaning of this statement? Let us say that this is at 1000 degrees Celsius. So the meaning is that this entire fin has to be at 1000 degrees Celsius. Then it will be most effective. Okay. So for that, the efficiency of the fin is given by, in numerator we will have actual heat transfer rate from the fin, and in the denominator we will have heat that would be dissipated if the whole surface of the fin were maintained at the base temperature. So for the case of insulated fin, the formula will be like this. This numerator is already derived in our previous theories, and here it is HA delta T. The formula is HA delta T, and surface area is given by perimeter into length. And the final equation will be like this. Now we will try to see that why we are arriving up to 10 hyperbolic ml divided by ml. See here, if we continue from this theory, this equation here, it is already, we are having HP KAC T0 minus TA into 10 HML divided by square root of HP into square root of HP into L into T0 minus TA. So this will get cancelled, 1 HP will get cancelled. So what we are left with? We are left with square root of KAC HP into 10 HML by, sorry, here it will be L. So this square root of KAC divided by HP is nothing but M. That's why it is ml and the numerator is 10 HML. So for infinitely long fin, what will happen? As in the denominator we are having L, if the fin is infinitely long, the efficiency will be 0. So the meaning is that the fin efficiency drops with increase in length. And the next thing is, suppose the values of ml are very small. If ml is very small, let us say ml tends to 0, the meaning is that 10 HML by ml tends to 1. Okay, so the efficiency will be 100%. Now the next theory is effectiveness of fin. It represents the ratio of fin heat transfer rate to the heat transfer rate that would exist without a fin. So this is the effectiveness of the fin, that the comparison that how much fin is effectively working. Okay, so this is the normal case in which fin is not present. Okay, so the base temperature is T0 and we have taken the area as AC, cross sectional area, that would be there for fin. Okay, and the formula is HAC T0 minus TA, and in second case we have provided fin, that is having area AC, perimeter P, and Q fin is square root of HPKAC into T0 minus TA. So here before fin attachment we are having HAC T0 minus TA, and after attachment we are having this formula. So the fin effectiveness is given by this formula. Okay, This 2 will get eliminated, and further simplification of this will give us square root of Pk over HAC. And one thing that I am giving you in self-study is relationship between the efficiency and effectiveness of fin. You can refer to any of our reference books or local books, and you will be able to find this relation, and it is quite easy to do it by yourself. So here this is the end of this lecture as well as end of this chapter. In our next lecture, we will begin with the second mode of heat transfer, that is heat convection. Thank you for watching this video.